All right, welcome everybody to Northwest Ham Shack. My name's Nick, KN6DAL. Today I've got Oscar here with me. He invited me to join in on his net through Freestar, which is Toptalk. And thanks for having me, Oscar.
No, thanks for being our guest this week, Nick. It's great to have you on.
It looks like we've got about 5 minutes before the net started. I just wanted to jump on and maybe give everybody over on our side an opportunity to get to know you a little bit better. If you could, do you think you could just tell us a kind of a brief idea? What is Freestar and how did it come about? How did you get involved in it?
Yeah, sure, we can do that. So, my involvement in Freestar started over Christmas. Me and another ham amateur, Mike M0XMX, wanted to put on a Christmas Day net to get everyone who couldn't visit family because of the lockdown restrictions here together as one, talking as a community. And we needed somewhere to put this show on, some kind of network. And these guys approached Mike and said, look, why don't you use this new network that we're kind of in progression of starting up called Freestar? And we knew nothing about this. And we said, okay, like, how can we get out? And they said, you can get out everywhere. We can connect DMR, D-Star, Fusion, analog, repeaters, simplex gateways, Echo Link, you name it, we can get it all in one. So you haven't got to transmit on multiple areas. You just go through one route and you go out to the masses. And this sounded really interesting. So we gave it a go, did net on Christmas Day, and it was so successful. We had a special events call sign issued to do a New Year's Eve net, and that was the big start of it, GB1 NYE, and Freestar was born out of that, really. People loved it, and they said, can we get some more of this? And we've now got an infrastructure there that's live 24/7 to use, which is great.
Yeah, it absolutely is. You know, I actually joined in on the New Year's Eve net and was able to check in, and that was the biggest bubble chart that I had ever seen connected through All-Star. In fact, I'm going to pull this up. You won't be able to see it, but for the viewers on YouTube, this is a just a display of what the bubble chart of connectivity looks like tonight. There are so many different, I can't even count how many. There's got to be 90 plus connections through All-Star.
What's interesting about that, Nick, is what you can't see is the RF on that. You know, that's just the digital All-Star connections. Think about off the back of that how many other things are connected that are analog, that are RF. So we can never tell what the audience is. We never know what's going to call in. It's a real lottery.
Yeah.
And that's what makes it so interesting. It's a merge between analog and digital. It's definitely not exclusively digital by any means, even though the servers and the infrastructure are digitally organized, if that's the word. We've got a big ethos on the analog. We don't want the analog to die. We love merging the two together as one. And the Freestar slogan, or the tagline, if you want to call it, is freedom to connect. So, people can connect as and when they please on a semi-permanent or a permanent basis. You can come as and when you want. But tonight's the big one. The Saturday night Top Talk is where we open it up to the whole world, and we really show our feathers, if that's the word for it, on what we can get out to. But normally, day to day, it's a more smaller UK infrastructure.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah, I'm actually a member of the Vaca Valley Radio Club, and the W6 VVR repeater is currently tied to the Freestar network during the nets that take place, and it's been a lot of fun, and you get a lot of different people on there to communicate. So I know from experience that there's quite a few listeners out there, and so it's always great to meet new people.
Well, big shout out to everyone at the Vacaville Repeater Group, because they were one of the first ever supporters of Freestar from the US, one of our first permanent connections, them, and also the Canada hub, Adrian.
Right.
So, in terms of North America, they were the people who first supported us. So we just want to say thank you to you guys and girls over there for connecting to Freestar, as they say.
Yeah, we appreciate the opportunity to get involved. So thank you very much.
No problem at all. Well, I think we've got about a minute to go, so I better go and get myself ready.
Sounds good.
Enjoy the net. Hopefully we won't ask you too many difficult questions.
I think we'll make it through.
We'll catch you in about half hour.
All right.
73's catching the set.
All right. Thanks everybody for jumping on. We're gonna get started here with the net. I'll get it streaming through here, and we'll just listen in and see what we got today.
Calling CQ. This is 2 Echo 1 Hotel Whiskey Echo. 2 Echo 1 Hotel Whiskey Echo. Calling CQ, the Toptalk Net. The Toptalk Net is about to start. We're calling CQ from the UK. This is Oscar, 2 Echo 1 Hotel Whiskey Echo. I'll be your host this evening, and we're going to call QRZ in a minute. Anyone who's new, welcome aboard. All we ask is that you respect the 3-second gap between overs, if you could be as kind, just to let our systems all around the world connect. And also, you be courteous to anyone with audio problems as well, because we've got so many connections, we sometimes find audio levels can be a little bit up and down, as you can imagine. We've got a very, very special guest this week, but before I go into that, I'm going to call QRZ. If you could come in, please, first with your call sign, phonetically, your name, and then your location, and then we'll go from there. This is 2E1HWE calling QRZ, please, and stand by.
Kilowatt Echo 8 Alpha Delta Victor. Tony in Lakewood, Ohio.
Kilo India 6 Bravo Lima, Tom in Playa Vista, California. I'm going to be in and out.
November 6 Tango Alpha Romeo, Todd in El Dorado, California.
Delta 0 Kilo Mike Charlie, Gary in Kansas City, Missouri.
Okay, 2 Echo 1 Hotel Whiskey Echo. So we've got 4 US stations. That's a good start, isn't it? Nice to see you're all ready to go over there. Excellent stuff. Right. So we'll see if there's anyone else. Is there anyone else? Rest of the world or UK, please? Anyone else? Please QRZ with your call sign, your name and your location, please. 2E1HWE calling QRZ.
Oscar is Mike, G0 AMO, Alpha Mike Oscar, hand over you.
For those of you just joining us, welcome in. See in the chat, we got a couple people. Aaron, welcome. We got Chris, Digital Analog Ham, great YouTube channel. Check that out. Thanks everybody for jumping in. Shane, hi Bruce.
Okay, everyone stand by, please. Can everybody stand by? Just hold on a moment. Can I take that Andover station, please? Just the Andover station. Apologies, some people kept coming over you again. Everyone else stand by. I'll just take the Andover station again, please. Your call sign and your name. We'll give it one more go. Hopefully we'll get you.
Alpha Mike Oscar, G0 AMO, name is Mike, Mexico India, Kilo Echo, TJ, hand over you.
QSL Mike, G0 AMO, I've got you in the log. Thank you very much. The other stations, QRZ please, and there's no rush, just take your time and leave a 3-second gap between the overs, please. QRZ.
6, Papa Zulu Alpha, Jeremy, Calgary, Alberta, Canada.
Mike 6, Lima Charlie Kilo. Be in Carlisle. Mike 6, Lima Charlie Kilo. Okay, got 3 or 4 stations there, thanks very much. Got you there. Mike and Andover. Ralph, I've just about got you there, Ralph. You were back of the box. I think you were coming through RF analog, but I've got most of your call sign. Jeremy Alberto in Canada, and also M6LCK in Carlisle, North West England. Excellent stuff. Right, that's 8 people. We'll just see if there's any more, because we started bang on time, and some people are always late on parade. So is there anyone else who wants to go for the first round, please? Any other stations like to join the Top Talk Net on Freestar this evening, please? If you could QRZ with your call sign first, phonetically, your name, and then also your QTH, please. This is 2E1HWE calling QRZ.
M7WX Chris. I'm not sure he's on that.
KE8 Papa Sierra Charlie John. That's KE8 Papa Sierra Charlie John in Cleveland.
Okay, thanks there, Chris M7CWX and John in Cleveland, US KE8PSC. Excellent stuff. Thanks for calling. Well, we've got a lot of US stations in the house tonight, which I'd expect, which is great. And welcome aboard the Top Talk Net on Freestar. As I said earlier, I'm your host, Oscar, 2E1HWE, and my QTH is 35 miles east of London, in a place called Southend-on-Sea, County of Essex, which is on the Thames Estuary. And tonight we have a very, very special guest. But before I introduce him, we're going to go for a round of overs. We're going to go for a bit of an icebreaker. We like to do that first to warm up everybody before we bring the big guest on at about 10 o'clock, which is 2200 UTC. So the first thing I want to ask everybody who's joined the net is, what do you prefer? Do you prefer Valentine's Day or Pancake Day? So here's the thing, for our US and North American friends, what is Pancake Day, I hear you ask? Well, basically, it's called Shrove Tuesday. It's a celebration here in the UK that we like to do. It was last Tuesday that we celebrated. And basically, we like to cook pancakes. Now, why would we want to do such a thing, I hear you ask? Well, basically, it's to celebrate the start of Lent. 40 days and 40 nights, as we all know. And the day before Lent, because I think Lent is the Wednesday, on the Tuesday we cook pancakes. So don't ask me any more than that, but it's one of them traditions we always do. So my question is, would you rather, what would you rather pick? Would you rather have Valentine's Day, or would you rather have Pancake Day? So it's a little bit of fun, a little bit of light entertainment before we get rocking and rolling with the main event. So we'll go over to Tony, over there, I think it was in Ohio, KE8ADV. What would you rather have there, Tony? Would you rather have the Valentine's Day or the Pancake Day? Over to you.
Hey, Oscar, well, it's kind of an easy one. The thought of starting off every morning with a stack of cakes and dumping syrup on it, I think I'd rather go with the Pancake Day myself. So how's that for an answer?
Echo 1 Hotel Whiskey Echo. That's any answer goes. There's no right or wrong. You can be as elaborate as you want, Tony, or you can give us a story why. I'm easy going, or you can just answer the question. Whatever you want to do, it's all fun, and we can go from there. I might as well answer my own question. That would be a good start. Let me tell you what I would pick. I would definitely pick the pancake, because if you forget the pancake day, it doesn't really matter, does it? Where if you forget the Valentine's Day, there's going to be a whole lot of trouble. Let's just say that. You're letting someone down, and that's never a good thing, is it? And like the pancakes, I like the pancakes in the morning, Tony. I don't really like them in the evening. I like breakfast pancakes, and I like the syrup, the honey, and the banana on mine. So there we go. Enough about me. Let's go over to Tom. Kilo India 6 Bravo Lima. What would you like to pick? Would you like to pick the Valentine's Day or the Shrove Tuesday or Pancake Day, Tom? Tell us why you want to pick either or. Over to you.
Okay, Oscar. I'll give you an answer, then I'm going to be out. Valentine's Day, because a happy wife is a happy life. KI6BL is going to be clear and out of here.
To E1HWE. Excellent stuff. Thanks, Tom, for calling in, and you're more than welcome to listen. We've got the guest coming on soon in about 20 minutes, so keep one ear on the radio if you can. And great answer, very diplomatic. I like your style. I do like your style there. Good stuff. Right, next, Todd. I think you're in California. November 6th, Tango Alpha Romeo. What are you going to pick? Are you going to go for the Valentine's Day, or would you rather have the Pancake Day? Let us know the reason why. From 2E1HWE.
November 6th, Tango Alpha Romeo. And I just heard about the Pancake Day while you guys were talking, so that's pretty cool. I think I'm going to go ahead and go with the Pancake Day. And I do like a little bit of peanut butter and syrup on my pancake.
To E1HWE, yeah, I couldn't agree more with you there, Todd. It is very, very tempting with the old maple syrup, isn't it? Is it more satisfying than Valentine's Day? Maybe someone else will make a comment on that one. We will find out shortly. Good stuff. Right, next in the log, Gary, Kilo Delta Zero. I think it... is it possibly Missouri? I think that's where you may be. Apologies if I got that wrong. What would you like to pick? Would you rather go for Valentine's or Pancake Day? And give me a reason why, Gary. Over to you.
Oscar, good afternoon, good evening, and good evening to everybody on the net. I would have to choose pancakes on Valentine's Day. That way I got all my bases covered. I got the roses for the missus, and I got the pancakes for my belly. And Oscar, to your question, I'm from Kansas City, really close to Missouri. I live just across the border in Kansas. Thank you, Oscar, and back to the net.
To E1HWE. Okay, Gary, all noted on Kansas City. Yeah, got you there. Got that as a correction. Thanks very much. And do you know what? You are a Casanova, aren't you, there, Gary? Double bubble, as we call it here. Double bubble in it. You know, interacting both the pancake into the Valentine's Day. Yeah, I like it. I like it. That at the moment, you're winning the answer there for the best answer. So if anyone can beat Gary on that one, I'm all ears, as we say. Happy days. Right, good stuff. Right, UK. We've got a UK station in the house. Mike, Andover, G0AMO. What are you going to go for? And give me a reason why, please, Mike. From 2E1HWE.
G0AMO, good evening. Hello, everybody. Yeah, I'll go for Pancake Day, because you can always cook a lovely pancake for your loved one. I'm not so good at cooking up flowers, but pancakes, absolutely no problem. And you also get to run around the house, toss them and throw them in the air and catch them off the ceiling. So a great sport as well. So have a great day. That's what I think. Pancakes, serving number one. From G0.
AMO, 2 Echo 1 Hotel Whiskey Echo. Yeah, good stuff, Mike. I think it's 50-50 at the moment, really. Maybe the pancakes are slightly nudging ahead. So it's interesting, but we're only halfway down the list, so we wait to see what Ralph's going to say. Now, Ralph, I could just about hear you. I'm not sure how you're getting in this evening. I think you're possibly analog RF. I think I've got your call sign half correct, but you may want to correct me there. I've got Kilo Yankee Sierra Mike, which I don't think is quite right, but maybe tell me a few times if you could the call sign, and I'll listen up. Yeah, the question is, would you like to pick the Pancake Day or the Valentine's Day? And give us a reason why. Over to you, Ralph, from 2 Echo 1 Hotel Whiskey Echo.
I didn't catch it. He's a little bit broken up.
Two Echo 1 Hotel Whiskey Echo. Just checking I've got it. Okay, unfortunately. So, you've got to say maple syrup on pancakes, haven't you, Jeremy? Come on, don't let me down on this. 2E1HWE VA6PZA. If you're still there, and hopefully you are, hopefully...
E1 HWE, 2E0 FWV. KN6DAL, 2E0 FWV.
Hey, good evening. KN6DAL here. Is he making it in? Is Oscar making it through or not?
I'm just worried. We haven't had a few people...
KN6DAL, 2E0 FWV. I'm getting a good solid copy off you there, Nick.
Yeah, thanks for that comeback. I was not getting Oscar feeding through. Are you guys getting a copy on Oscar?
take you through the EV show.
You all right, Nick? Let me just turn the volume on.
Are you having a problem getting in?
Yeah, I can't get in on the phone portal or
Okay.
All Star, so I don't know what's going on.
That's no problem at all. What I'll do is I'm going to feed your audio, okay?
Yeah, let me just check one more thing. 2 Echo 1 Hotel Whiskey Echo, checking access. Right, I'm getting in. I'm getting in, Nick.
Now you're getting in. It was intermittent for a little bit there. If you run into a problem where it continues to happen, let me know, and I can just feed your audio from your computer through the Freestar system.
Okay. I'm getting echo, so I'm going to go on mute now, Nick, and carry on the net.
Perfect. All right.
2 Echo 1 Hotel Whiskey Echo, just checking I've got access. Apologies, we had connection issues. Bruce, are you receiving me? Over.
2E1 HWE, 2E0 FWV.
Echo 1 Hotel Whiskey Echo. Yeah, we're back in the room, Bruce. Don't know what happened there. Apologies, everyone. But it seems to be restored connection. So, are we okay to proceed, Bruce? Over.
E1 HWE, 2E0 FWV. Yeah, Oscar, if you want to use your main mode that you were using before, that'd be fine. From 2E0 FWV.
Echo 1 Hotel Whiskey Echo. Yeah, I'll go back to the other mode. Everybody stand by. Not quite sure what's happened there. We'll be back in one moment. Just stand by, everybody. Normal service will be resumed shortly. 2E1 HWE.
I see Greg in the chat and Bert. Hey, Bert, how's it going? They're just switching a couple of connections real quick. It looks like there was a disconnect on the Freestar side there, but you can kind of expect with all of the different ways that this connectivity is formed that there's bound to be a hiccup every now and again. So stand by for just a second. I think they're working on bringing it back in. Yeah, that's right, Chris. It is amateur radio, and there's always something going on.
Okay. 2 Echo 1 Hotel Whiskey Echo. Apologies for that. So we're going to go back to where we started from. Hopefully everyone can hear me now. And I think it was Jeremy Alberto Canada, Victor Alpha 6, Papa Zulu Alpha. Are you getting us there? Over.
So we don't normally celebrate that, but yeah, I'll take the pancakes smothered with lots of butter and syrup, please. I'll send it back to control. Victor Alpha 6, Papa Zulu Alpha.
Echo 1 Hotel Whiskey Echo, check in. Okay, 2 Echo 1 Hotel Whiskey Echo, I've got to now, so hopefully one's receiving us. Just give it one more check to Bruce, 2E0 FWV. Is everything connected? Can you give us an update, please, Bruce? Back to you.
Looks like he went for the big guns and got the radio out.
2E1 HWE, 2E0 FWV. You've got it, Oscar.
Okay, thank you, Bruce. Well, apologies for that. That's never happened before. So, not sure if a gremlin's creeped in somewhere, but never mind, we'll carry on. So I'm going to give it one more try, and then we'll move on. Jeremy, VA6PZA, are you with us, please? Over.
Victor Alpha 6 Papa Zulu Alpha. I did have a response. I didn't know I wasn't getting in. How do you copy now? Victor Alpha 6 Papa Zulu Alpha.
Victor Alpha 6 Papa Zulu Alpha. Fantastic. We have contact. Thanks for bearing with us, Jeremy. I don't know what quite happened there, but we're back in the room now. So, the question, Jeremy, to you was, would you rather pick the Valentine's Day or the Pancake Day? Let me know which one and give me a reason why, please. From 2E1HWE.
Valentine's Day, we're in love, so Valentine's Day is every day. So I'll take the pancakes with a heaping amount of butter and lots of syrup, please. And I'll set.
2 Echo 1 Hotel Whiskey Echo. Excellent stuff. You sound like a right Romeo there, Jeremy. You've gone for the pancakes, so thanks for your input. Good stuff. Right. Carlisle Station. Apologies, I didn't get your name. Can you give me your name and pick which one you'd like to select, the pancake or the Valentine? 2E1HWE M6LCK.
Mike 6 Lima Charlie Kilo returning. The name here is Lindsay, Lima India.
Okay, apologies, you were a little bit quiet there. I didn't get the name, but give me your name, please, if you could be as kind one more time, and then tell us what you're going to go for. What one are you going to select and the reason why? Over.
Thanks for everything. M6LCK.
Okay, 2E1HWE. Excellent stuff, thank you very much there. Right, next round to Chris, M7CWX. Let me know where you are, Chris, and which one would you like to select and why? From 2E1HWE. Chris, do we still have you? M7, the M7CWX station. Chris, are you still with us? QRZ? Hey, nothing heard. So the final station on the list, and thanks for bearing with us, is John. John in Cleveland, I think it was. Kilo Echo 8, Papa Sierra Charlie. Good evening. Would you like to select the Valentine's Day or the Shrove Tuesday, aka Pancake Day? Which one would you like to select and why, please? Over to you.
It looks like we had audio, but
2E1HWE. Well, this has never happened before, where I've been talking to myself. It normally happens in my sleep, but looks like we're having a bit of a day, isn't it? Which is a shame, but never mind. We will carry on. So we're at the bottom of the list.
and we'll just call out for any new callers. Hopefully someone is hearing me out there. If not, it's going to be a very, very long evening. So I'm going to call out for anyone else who'd like to join the Toptalk Net Saturday evening here. The time is 2200 UTC, so that's 10 o'clock at Greenwich Mean Time in the United Kingdom. And we're going to call QRZ, please. Can you give your call sign phonetically, followed by your name and your QTH, and leave a 3-second gap between each caller. We'll get as many on the list, and then we're going to bring in our very, very special guest this evening for you. This is 2 Echo 1 Hotel Whiskey Echo, calling QRZ, the Toptalk Net, please.
This is Oscar Hotel 2, Charlie Bravo Echo, Keijo from Finland, Helsinki.
Okay, thank you, Finland. Is there anyone else, please? QRZ. Okay, any final calls to join the Toptalk Net? Is there any final call, please? And then we'll move on. Any final calls? QRZ with your call sign, your name and your location. From 2E1HWE. Okay, nothing heard. Excellent. Right, well, we'll start and bring our guest in then, because it is the 10 o'clock hour here. So, my guest this evening is Kilo November 6 at Delta Alpha Lima. Yes, he's in the building. The Northwest Ham Shack is here. We've got my friend Nick, and tonight we are going to discuss the differences between the UK and the US licensing system. So let's see if he's out there. Hopefully, fingers and toes are crossed, we're making the trip across the Atlantic, across the pond. Oh, I hope this works. 2E1HWE calling QRZ on Kilo November 6 at Delta Alpha Lima. Are you there, Nick?
2E1HWE, this is KN6DAL, Nick in Everett, Washington. I'll give you a good long audio draw here and make sure we've got connectivity, and we'll cheers to that. How am I sounding?
At 2E1HW, you're sounding like a dream, Nick. It's actually nice for someone to actually come back to me. So at least you're here, so it's all good in the hood as far as I'm concerned. And thanks for bearing with us this evening. Not quite sure what went on there. Very, very strange, because normally everything's A-OK. But never mind, we'll crack on, because we've got a lot to talk about tonight. Really looking forward to the conversation of topics. And I think I want to kick off really and find out a little bit more about you, Nick. So you've got the YouTube channel, the Northwest Ham Shack. So I think the first question I've got is tell us a little bit about what that is, and I suppose why you're doing it, you know. Over to you from 2E1HWE.
Yeah, thanks, Oscar. Again, this is Nick, Kilo November 6, Delta Alpha Lima. My QTH is Everett, Washington. You know, I started the Northwest Ham Shack as just kind of a catchy name. I'm in the Northwest area of the United States, so they call the Washington, Oregon area the Great Northwest, and that's where the name sort of spurred from. And I use my YouTube capability just to stream what we have, which is called a anti-net. We have a live stream that we do on Wednesday nights, which is I believe the 3 o'clock hour of UTC in UK time. So the live stream is held every night at 7 o'clock, or every Wednesday night at 7 o'clock Pacific Standard Time, and we just have kind of a conversation and enjoy ourselves. So I mainly use the YouTube feed to do that. And I got my ham radio license about 2 years ago. I got it in July of 2019, upgraded to general and then to extra. And we'll talk a little bit more about how that works in a little bit. But just enjoying the hobby, and I appreciate you having me out here.
2E1HWE. No, good stuff, Nick. Well, it's great to have you on board the good ship Top Talk this evening on the Freestar Network. If anyone's just tuned in, thanks for bearing with us. All the technical difficulties I've been told have been resolved. So, yeah, this is the main bit. As long as we're all connected for the main interview, that's the most important thing. So, thanks for bearing with us this evening, everybody. Okay, excellent stuff. Right, so I think where we want to start off with the differences or the similarities there, Nick, is over here we have a regulator called Ofcom. So Ofcom are the government, get my words out, the government body in the UK that look after the spectrum and the licensing, etc. And they work in conjunction with the Radio Society of Great Britain, or the RSGB as we call it. So that's kind of our structure here. I just wanted to know, Nick, how does it work in the US? Do you have a similar kind of situation? Before we get onto the licensing, let's just kind of go, back to the start. Who's the government bodies? Is there another association working with them? How does it work over across the pond there? 2E1HWE KN6DAL.
KN6DAL. We do have a very similar government body as to what you just described. It's called the FCC for short. That's an acronym that stands for the Federal Communications Commission, and they oversee anything within the frequency spectrum, and that could be that covers everything from mobile phones to microwaves. Everything gets that stamp of approval from the FCC, and so they're the government's overseeing body of ham radio as well, and our radio frequencies as well. Back to you, Oscar. This is KN6DAL.
Echo 1 Hotel Whiskey Echo. Okay, so it sounds like a very similar structure to what we have here in the United Kingdom. Good stuff there. Just anyone who's just joined, we are actually streaming live on the YouTube. So if anything goes wrong, the good news is you've still got the YouTube to rely on as an RX if you want to. So we're being live streamed tonight by Nick, the ham, Northwest Ham Shack. He's doing the live stream, so thank you very much, Nick. If anyone wants to go onto YouTube and type in the Northwest Ham Shack, you're more than welcome. And also I've put the link up on the Freestar Facebook group. That's Freestar UK, and also Freestar International on the Facebook. Happy days. If you want to put any comments in there, at least we can kind of look at that. If you don't want to call in, we can obviously look at the comments on the YouTube feed, and we can maybe get some questions over to Nick. Or if you've got any questions from me, if you're from the US and you've got any questions, put them in the comments and we'll try and get back to them. Happy days. I'll just take a pause. 2E1HWE, good. Right, so my next question for you, Nick, is in the UK, we've got 3 types of licence grades. The first one that we start off with is called the intermediate licence, and then the way it works is you have to do that first, and then you take a second examination if you wish, and then you go to the intermediate status, which is what I am. I'm an intermediate here. And then, if you're feeling brave and you're good for it, you can then go and do the full licence, which is the final furlong, as they say. So we've got 3 grades of licence. Now, from what I can gather, you've got a similar structure, but I think I'd want to get in depth a little bit about what each one does and give you. I think maybe if you can tell me a little bit about the technician licence first, I can then tell you a bit about our foundation, and we'll just go back and forth so everyone can get an understanding, what the similarities are between the entry level, the middle level and the advanced, if that makes sense. So, tell us a little bit about the technician licence, and then I'll go with the foundation. 2E1HWE KN6DAL.
Yeah, thanks, Oscar. This is Nick, KN60AL. Yeah, the technician license is our entry-level license. That's the first step to getting involved in amateur radio. And so what's involved with that license is it's a 35-question test, and it's pooled out of... I'll get hate mail, I'm sure, if I quote this wrong, but I want to say maybe 300 or 400 questions, and they're all published questions, so you can go through and study them and learn about them, and then you take that test. There is a fee associated with it. It's $35 to take that exam, and that's the first comparison to your foundation license. What that gives you the ability to use is UHF and VHF. There's a band plan. I should have pulled that up to show everybody on YouTube, but a lot of people in America are familiar with how the band plan is organized. 2 meters, 70 centimeters is the most common. The technician license does afford you some opportunity in the HF spectrum, in only with CW and limited to 200 watts, and that's about it. So it's a little bit more constricted than some of the other ones that we'll go into in a minute. I have the band plan in front of me. I think the biggest difference, and correct me if I'm wrong, maybe tell me what yours offers as far as power, but with the technician license, you can actually, on VHF and UHF, use up to 1.5 kilowatts of power. So that's 1,500 watts of power. And that's not commonly used. There is an excerpt in our rules that says you need to use the minimum amount of power required to make the connection that you're trying to make. But that's the maximum that we're allowed to use under that license class. So tell me a little bit about how that works as far as with your foundation license, what you're limited to on power, and I think some people would be curious to know. This is KN6DAL. Back to you, Oscar.
Echo 1 Hotel Whiskey Echo. Wow, 1,500 watts, 1.5 kilowatt. That is phenomenal for an entry-level license up to. I just can't quite believe it. I think I want to move to the US. But saying that, God, you've got to have a good setup, haven't you, to handle that kind of power there. But, well, you're going to be absolutely shocked when I tell you what power a foundation license grade can use in the UK, because it's considerably less. It's only 10 watts. But saying that, 10 watts can get you across the world, can't it, really? If the conditions are right, the band's looking good, and, everything goes in your favour, you can do contacts on lower power, on QRP, It all depends on your setup and a little bit of luck sometimes. So, the foundation grade here is 10 watts only, and they've more or less got access to quite a big chunk of the spectrum, HF and UHF, VHF. I think there's a few frequencies they can't go on. I'm not going to say I'm an expert, so, this is all the point of the net. Anyone wants to call in and interject when we call in the round of overs after, please call in, please put me straight, please add anything of value to the conversation. It would be really great to hear any more information that we maybe have missed. And that's the foundation. I'm not sure how many questions it is. I haven't done my exam for at least 20 years, so I'm very, very rusty. But this week we had a big announcement. The RSGB, who's the Radio Society of Great Britain, has put a consultation out this week saying that they're proposing a brand new examination, which is a direct-to-full exam. So it's like a one exam to get you straight to the full license. So instead of you going through the gateways of doing all three individually, they're consulting on the idea of this brand new examination, and it's really, really big news here, because it could be a fast track for people with good technical knowledge to get straight into the full license and not have to go through the 3 different levels or the 2 levels before. So that'd be very interesting. But we're going to talk about that one next week. We've got a guest coming on next week to talk about that one. Okay, so I think that's touched on the real basics of the entry level on the UK and the US licensing structure. I'm now going to go over to intermediate, which I think you call there The general, is it the general license? Maybe tell me a little bit about that, please, Nick. 2E1HWE, KN6DAL.
KN6DAL from 2E1HWE. Yeah, so the general license is the next step up from technician. Interesting that you bring up the opportunity to take a full exam that they're talking about over there. So here, that's not something that's possible. However, if you pass your technician class license, you can move forward to take the next step, the general license, in the same time frame. Like, you can sit down and they'll just issue you the general license if you wanted to upgrade. And for us in the U.S., that's probably the biggest upgrade as far as a ham radio operator is concerned. A lot of people like to upgrade to general class because it gives us the opportunity to operate on HF. That's where all of the single sideband voice capabilities on HF become available, and power limits are still the same. The question pool is very similar to the technician, a little bit more involved, same amount of questions on the test. And so what I typically see, and what a lot of people around me typically see, is people will get their technician license and either A, upgrade immediately, or B, maybe use a year worth of experience, grow in the hobby, and then go back and challenge that next test, and then upgrade into being able to use HF capability as well. Back to you.
Echo 1 Hotel Whiskey Echo. Okay, Nick, yeah, good stuff. And I don't know if it's been the same over in the US, but our licensing examinations have now all gone online because of the COVID-19 situation. The RSGB made them all go online, so now you don't go to a club. They've removed any practical aspect, I think temporarily, because obviously that's going to be a bit difficult. So now all the exams are done online, I think via video link possibly. And I think you get a result there and then, or within a few hours maybe, to let you know if you've been successful. So I think that's the way it's going. And the rumour is this new exam, this new full, direct to full, will have no practical element at all. So it's going to be really interesting to see if that actually happens and how it kind of comes about, really. So we watch this space. We'll see what happens. Excellent. What was I going to say to you? Yeah, intermediate. So intermediate here is basically, obviously, another examination, multiple choice questions, I believe. And basically, you get an upgrade to 50 watts. Yay, 50, 5-0. We are pushing out the power here, aren't we, in the UK? There we go. But yeah, we get 50 watts. And you do get a few other little privileges, like you can have, as an intermediate license holder, something called a simplex gateway. I'm not sure if you had that over in the States or North America, but it's kind of like a mini repeater. But instead of having an input and an output frequency, it is a simplex gateway. It's one frequency, and it can be connected to the internet either via D-Star, Wires X Fusion, or analog, and you can get in the internet that way and obviously transmit in your local area. But it's very low power, 1 watt. So you get a little privilege like that as an intermediate. And you can always tell an intermediate call sign very, very easily, Nick, because it always starts with a 2E0 or a 2E1. So our licensing call signs are quite complicated for people who don't know them. So if you ever hear a 2 Echo 0 or a 2 Echo 1, you know that's an intermediate call sign. The other call signs can get a little bit complicated, but the intermediate is probably the most recognisable one to remember instantly. Because there's not so many variations of it there. Good stuff. Well, look, before we go on and talk about the differences with the full license, I think it's a good time to end part 1 and maybe call in to see if there's any more stations want to join us. Before I do that, I'll just see if you've got any final comments about the general license or intermediate, Nick. 2E1HWE, KN6DAL.
KN6DAL, yeah, I do. I have one comment and one question. So comment on the gateway, the simplex gateway. That is a privilege that's afforded to pretty much any amateur radio operator in the States. So we don't really have anything dedicated related to license class on that. And I have a question about the call signs. Do you guys, so in the United States, we, as you upgrade, you can actually shrink your call sign. You can get a 2x1 or a 3x1, where we typically will have a prefix of 2 letters and then a number followed by 3 letters is the most common call sign that you see. But you can apply for what's called a vanity call sign in the United States, where you can actually pick within reason what you want for your call sign. Is that something that you can do in the UK, or is it assigned only? Back to you, Oscar. KN6DAL.
2 Echo 1 Hotel Whiskey Echo. I think I know the answer, but I'm going to put it out to everyone else in a minute, just for clarity. I think, yes, the answer is we do have vanity call signs. You can, within reason, apply to Ofcom and pick a call sign if it's available. I have heard of stations having 2 letters in their call sign, but I think that's only for like contest stations or special events. And normally, to get that like a smaller call sign, if you want to call it that, less letters or numbers, you normally have to be a full licence holder. But I could be wrong. But you can definitely get vanity call signs, I think, of any licence grade, but they normally have to have 3 letters at the end, for example. I think you only get 2 letters or less if you are full licence, and then you go via a special events call sign or maybe a contest call sign or a club call sign or something like that. But I'll tell you what, I'm not an expert, so let's open it up to everyone around the world. Well, I suppose it's UK going to know the answer to this if you're asking me the question. Is there anyone who would like to come in and give us some more information on the question that Nick had on the call signs in the UK, vanity call signs? Can you pick 2 letters? I want to make sure that I'm not giving anyone the wrong information. 2 Echo 1 Hotel Whiskey Echo. Calling QRZ, anyone who'd like to make a comment, please? Give me your call sign and we'll come back to you.
SCA, portable, KH6. Aloha.
Good evening to my friend in Hawaii. Yes, nice to hear you, G3SEA, the most exotic call sign or place we have calling in on the Freestar network this evening. Hope you're well. Good to hear you again. So, do you have an answer to the question? I know you've been away from the UK for a while, but you might know the answer there. Back to you.
Oscar, over there in Southend-on-Sea, 2E0HWE, G3SEA, portable KH6. Well, since I got my license, obviously lots of things have changed. Various powers and what you can do, what you can't do. But the idea, I can see, is to get more hams into the hobby, because I know the ARRL and the RSGB were concerned that they weren't getting enough hams, so that's why I think you have the various license classes coming in, different power levels or whatever. Same thing in the US. You have your technician license, then you go for your general, then you go for your extra. In the US, my call is equivalent to the extra, so I get the extra privileges, on HF. But that's how it is in the US. The exam is multiple choice questions. I'm not sure if that is the case in the UK at the moment. Back to you, Oscar.
G3SEA 2 Echo 1 Hotel Whiskey Echo. Yes, it's affirmative. It's definitely multiple choice. I can't recall how many questions it is per paper. It's been a very long time since I sat an exam. But yeah, it's a similar structure. But with an intermediate license and a foundation, I don't believe we can operate outside of the United Kingdom. I think there are certain countries under the CEPT agreement, CEPT, that may let me operate outside of the UK. but I think at the moment I'm restricted to, say, Isle of Man, Channel Islands, anywhere in the British Isles. So it might not be the UK, but within, the British Isles, I think, is kind of my licence limit on where I can go. There might be a few odd exceptions, but I think that privilege to operate outside of the United Kingdom is for mainly full licence holders only. And things like repeaters, intermediate and foundation licence can't have an NOV for a repeater, which is kind of like a licence and notice of variation, I think they call it. So it's still things like that, and obviously power as well. But we'll get on to the full licence in a minute. I don't want to give too much away, but if anyone doesn't know Paul is an expat who used to be here in the UK, and he moved over, I think, many years ago to Honolulu in Hawaii. So it's great to have you on. It's always nice to have an exotic call sign. I'll hand it over to you, Paul, for one final comment, and then we'll move on with the net. 2E18WE G3SEA.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, it was a long time ago, but I think what they're doing to try and encourage more hams is good. As far as operating in different countries, I think if a Brit is over here, when I say over here in the US, across Hawaii too, we are the 50th state, we could operate Echolink and come out on an RF on a repeater at the other end in the UK. They could do it that way. If they were using digital, say, Peanut, Freestar, which are app devices, apps or devices, I think technically they could do it because they wouldn't be emanating RF in the US. They'd be emanating it back in the UK. But if there was a US node or repeater connected to that connection, then they would be emanating RF in the US. And that's where the trickiness comes. So it's a problem for people who don't have the full license. Back to you, Oscar.
Echo 1 Hotel Whiskey Echo. Well, there's so many small print bits and bobs we could talk about. There's so much stuff, isn't there? We'll be here all night, so for time reasons I will have to move on, Paul. I'm sure you understand, but great to have you on. Hang around if you can. Hang around, because we're going to go for another round of overs, and we're going to get some questions going before we go to part 2 of our chat with the Northwest Ham Shack there, Nick, KN6DAL, who's joining us from the US tonight. Good evening to you, or good afternoon to all our US stations out there listening. And I'm just looking at the Facebook and the YouTube comments here. Chris, Digital Analog Ham, good evening there, Chris. His net was yesterday. He said that we can in the UK choose the last 3 letters, so that's good. That's good to know there. We can choose the last 3 letters of the call sign. Then Gordon Hunter has put in the comments, I'm not sure where Gordon is, if he's UK or US, but he's saying the exams have changed a lot in the last 40 years. He used to have to draw a diagram of a Colpitts oscillator and give in vowels for 7.1 megs. I've got no idea what that means, but it sounds very complicated, and I'm glad I don't have to learn that anymore. But thanks for the comments. It's all good, as we say here. Excellent stuff. Right, so we're halfway through. We're now an hour into the net, so I want to get a round of overs in. Before we do that, I just want to see if anyone else wants to join the bottom of the list. Is there any other stations like to join the Saturday night Toptalk Net on Freestar? Please QRZ with your call sign and your name and location, please. We'll put you on the list, and then we'll go to the top, and we'll go for any questions or comments. 2E18WE calling QRZ for any new stations, please.
Oscar Hotel 2, Charlie Bravo Echo, Keijo from Helsinki, Finland.
Yeah, Oscar November 2, Charlie Tango Echo in Finland. Yeah, I've got you there, thank you. Is there anyone else, please? QRZ? November 8, Papa Zulu Delta. The name is Clark. I'm coming from Cleveland, Ohio. UKH. Back to you.
Hey, there's Chris coming in there.
Kilo 7, November Delta Oscar, K7 Indio, name's Indio, north of Seattle, Washington.
Okay, nothing heard. So we're going to go to the top of the list. So all the new stations, please stand by. We will get to you at the end. Hopefully everyone's still there. I know we had a few connection issues. I think the Canada hub maybe dropped off or something like that, I'm being told. So I'm not sure if everyone's going to come back to me. But Tony, KE8ADV, if you're with us, have you got any comments or questions of what we discussed so far? Over to you, KE8ADV.
Hey, Oscar. Yeah, and Nick, really enjoyed the net. I guess my question pertaining to HF, for instance, on 20 meter, what frequency range does the amateur radio license handler have on the 20 meter band? Someone had tried to explain it to me that the frequency allotment was different on 20 meter than compared to the U.S. But anyways, I am going to listen, and I'm going to be 73 here in about 10 minutes. So I appreciate it, and we'll look to catch you guys next week. I'll chase you down, and I'll just be here on the side for the next 10 minutes. So 73, guys.
Yeah, excellent. KE8ADV 2E1HW. Well, it's good that you've asked me that, because I've just grabbed everyone on the live stream. Have a look on the live stream, everybody. A Northwest Ham Shack on YouTube. Type that in and you'll see it on the live stream. I've got a copy of the RSGB band plan 2021 in front of me. And to answer your question, I'm not sure what kind of mode you're referring to on 20 metres, but on 14 megahertz, we've got 14, it starts at 14 megahertz exactly for contesting with slow scan, and then it goes all the way up here to 14350. So that's kind of the band plan here, 14 megahertz to 14350 for 20 meters. But there's obviously different chunks of that band and different bits for CW, narrowband modes, SSB, contesting. The expedition, there's a frequency for that. There's so many different frequencies. I'll be here all night, but that's kind of the gist of it there. Does that answer your question, Tony? Over.
Yeah, Oscar, specifically for the phone band, for the sideband phone mode, I was wondering for the general here in the States, we're at 14.225. So I can't go below that as a general. I have to get the next license to go below that for voice, for phone mode. But yeah, that I actually just pulled it up as you were doing that. So yeah, it's interesting because there's some frequencies where I hear some of the more advanced hams tell other operators that they're in a part of the band that they don't belong. So trying to make sure I don't do that. Anyway, 73 guys. Talk to you next week. KE8ADV back to net control.
KE8ADV 2 Echo 1 Hotel Whiskey Echo. Thanks for calling in there. Great question as well. I'm not a HF specialist, and I don't do a lot of HF, but just looking at the band plan, and I hope I'm getting this right. If I'm not, put it in the comments, everybody. Put it on the YouTube comments if I get anything wrong, or interject. Call in and make a comment. If you know the answer to something, don't be shy. Give us a reply. It's all good to have a conversation. But looking at this, it's saying that SSB, I think, starts around 14125 megahertz. it says here is the contest preferred segment, and then the centre of activity is around that kind of area, 230. So I think it's 125 to 300 on the 20 metre band, but I might be wrong. I'm just going on what I'm reading on this band plan, and I'm not a HF specialist, but there we go. That's the great thing with the internet, you can normally get the answer. But if anyone knows, please let us know when we come round to you. Good stuff, thanks very much there, Tony. Right, Tom, hopefully you're still with us. Question or comment, please. KI6, Bravo Lima, over to you. Yeah, I just realised he'd signed already. Apologies, Tom. Got you down as gone. Right, Todd. November 6th, Tango Alpha Romeo. Have you got any questions so far? Any comments, please? Over.
This is November 6th, Tango Alpha Romeo out in California. Yeah, I was just curious on the digital modes. Is there a difference between what we do here in the United States versus over there? Do you guys have different digital modes? Or I'm fairly new to HF and I'm just now trying FT8, so kind of curious about that.
Echo 1 Hotel Whiskey Echo. Yeah, we've definitely got all the Digimodes here, and it doesn't matter what license you hold. You can, even the Foundation can use, Whisper or FTA, if that's what you mean by digital, or if it's in regards to C4FM, Yaesu System Fusion, or D-Star, the ICOM system, or DMR, the Motorola system. We all have access to that here. We've got that. We've got DMR repeaters. We've got, analog repeaters. We've got repeaters for everything. So we've got all the modes for voice, digital, and we've also got all the Digimodes just for non-voice communication. I think that was the question, but I'll hand it back to you just to make sure that's what you were asking. From 2E1HWE.
6TAR, yep, that answers my question perfect. Like I said, I'm just getting into it, and I just purchased a DMR radio, so I'll have to look into groups in your area. So thank you very much, and I'll give it back to the net. This is 6TAR.
E1HW. Well, the good news is you don't need to get any other radios. You just keep it on Freestar, because the great news is we're connected to everything. And if anyone's interested and you're on All-Star, do take a look at the bubble map. It is the mother of all bubble maps this evening. It's absolutely enormous, and it just shows you that we've got bridges in and out of everywhere. We've got all the connections, C4FM, reflectors on wires X Fusion, D-Star, Echo Link, All-Star obviously, and we've got a big infrastructure of analog repeaters in the United Kingdom, and also simplex gateways. So the good news is there's loads of stuff here that you can get into, and you haven't got to get any other radios, just one node and you're in. Happy days, good stuff. There's a lot of comments coming in, so I'm going to take a pause to read them, but what I'll do, the next station on the list is Gary in Canvas. If you're with us, Gary, any questions or comments, please? Kilo Delta Zero, Kilo Mike Charlie.
Hello, this is Gary, Kilo Delta Zero, Kilo Mike Charlie. Thanks, Oscar. I have no questions. It's a very entertaining and educational net. Thank you very much, and I'll hand it back to you, Oscar. KD0, Kilo Mike Charlie.
Yeah, excellent. No, it's always nice to hear our friends over the pond there, and even if you haven't got a question, it's not a problem. You're more than welcome just to have a listen or have any comments. It's all good as far as I'm concerned. I'm just looking at the comments now. It's a good way to get in contact if you can't call in, and there's a lot of comments there. I'm just trying to go through them all. What have I been drinking tonight? Not that it's radio related, but I did have one beer. I'm not a drinker, you're right, but one beer's all right just to settle the nerves. Then we've got a few comments there from Brett Bell. So if anyone's interested, have a little look on here. The thing is, the RSGB always changing things, always evolving, changing things, and I suppose they've just got to keep things fresh and encourage people to get in the hobby, it's just the way it goes. Anything else? Yeah,
Okay. Hairy Paul, hello Hairy Paul. 14 people listening over the 6 gig mesh network in Ayrshire, Scotland. Well, hello to everyone there in Bonnie, Scotland on 6 gigahertz. There we go. So we're not just on 2 metres and 70 centimetres. We're actually on 6 gigahertz. If anyone can beat that, let me know. Excellent stuff, and hello to Randy as well. Right, let me get the list up. Who are we going over to next? So, yes, Mike in Andover, G0AMO. Good evening, and question or comment to you, please. Golf Zero Alpha Mike Oscar. Are you with us there, Mike? Nothing heard. Moving down. Ralph, Kilo 8 Golf Mike Alpha. Have you got a question for either me or Nick on any licensing or any comments, please? Kilo 8 Golf Mike Alpha. A bit of a long-winded subject. So, Jeremy in Alberta, Canada, Victor Alpha 6 Papa Zulu Alpha. Question or comment, please, from 2E1HWE. Okay, let's just check we've got all the connections all okay. Bruce, 2E0FWV, any comments on the connections? Just make sure we're all okay before we proceed. Okay, just want to check I'm getting in. Nick, are you still receiving me? Kilo November 6 Delta Alpha Lima. Are you still hearing us, Nick?
Yeah, KN6DAL. I will just throw out a comment. Harry Paul asked if, and his call sign is MM7WAB, asked in the YouTube chat, do you have 6 gigahertz license free and licensed allocations in the US? So I think what he's asking is, do we have 6 gigahertz capability? I don't believe we do. I think we do have some portions of the 2.4 gigahertz and 5.2 or something like that. Again, I'm not an expert on that. The higher frequencies, because I don't have anything that utilizes those, but there are some portions of those bands that we can use, but I don't believe 6 gigahertz is one of them. If I'm wrong, if somebody wants to jump in and maybe correct me on that, I would appreciate it. KN6DAL, back to you, Oscar.
E1HW, apologies there, I think we had a bit of latency, so thank you Bruce as well for just saying the connections are all okay. Excellent stuff. Well look, I'm keen to get through the list, because I know there's quite a few new stations called in at the end that we haven't got to, so thanks for waiting, the new stations. I'm just going to quickly run through very, very quickly. If you don't come back to me the first time, unfortunately I will have to move on for time reasons. But Nick at Carlisle, opportunity for a comment there, M6LCK, over. Okay, M7CWX, Chris, any comments or questions, please? Over.
This is Chris. No comments. I completely enjoyed the talk. Back to you. Did you hear me? Last time you didn't. Back to you.
Well, good evening, Chris. This is 2 Echo 1 Hotel Whiskey Echo returning. Yeah, got you there. You're a little bit quiet to me, Chris, but I did receive that, Radio 5, so thanks. And yeah, no problem at all. More than welcome. No comments to say. Just come back to me, let me know. It's not a problem.
Just so I know you're still there, that's great. So that's what we like to hear. It's all about interaction here on the Top Talk Net. So thanks, Chris. Anyone wondering, Chris is an M7. So an M7 is a Foundation licensed caller. If you ever hear an M7, that's a good station to get hold of because they will be only running 10 watts. To get that in the logbook is probably more of a claim than an M0 or a G0 who could be, maybe, on higher output of power there. So anyone in the US, if you hear an M7 in the noise, always go back to them first. That's the better call to go for, in my opinion. Thank you there, Chris. Right, John in Cleveland, Kilo Echo 8, Papa Sierra Charlie. Any comments or questions there? Over. Nothing from John. So we're now at the bottom of the old list, and the new list has started. So this is good. We've got a station from Finland, Oscar November 2, Charlie Tango Echo, I think it was. Thank you very much for being patient this evening. I think I recognise you from calling in a few weeks ago, and you were newly licensed, wasn't you? I think I was your first ever contact, which was absolutely fabulous. Please clarify your call sign for me again. I want to make sure I've got this correct. And also your name. Give us your name. I'll hand the microphone to you, my friend. 2 Echo 1, Hotel Whiskey Echo, Oscar November 2, Charlie Tango Echo.
Yeah, Oscar, this is John in Cleveland, KE8 Pop Sierra Charlie. I'm not sure if you were talking to me. I think I may have talked to you a couple weeks ago. I don't have any questions. I'm just out here learning and listening. Back to net.
Yeah, okay, John, not a problem. Thanks anyway for calling back. Not a problem. It was actually a station in Finland I was calling, but not to worry. I think there was a little bit of latency, so we got you in the end. Happy days. Thank you. Right, Finland station. You wanted to come in. I'm really interested. I think you were coming through Echolink, so hopefully that connection's still stable. Final call for the Oscar November 2 station in Finland. I think it was in Helsinki, I think is the city. So please come in and give us your comment. Over. Okay, nothing heard. Well, that's a shame because I spoke to them the other week and it was a great contact, so maybe the connection dropped out there. Excellent stuff. Right, now Paul in Hawaii, Honolulu, G3 SEA. I know you've already asked the question, but any final comment before we move on to the list there, Paul? Over.
Oh, you caught me there. We're just having lunch here. G3 SEA, portable KH6. It's 12:48 p.m. here, Saturday. And no, I don't have any further comments, but enjoy the net, your net there. And stay safe over there in Southend-on-Sea. Long time since I've been there, but I do remember it fondly. Back to you, Oscar. 208WE, G3 SEA, portable KH6.
Yeah, good stuff, Paul. Thanks very much for calling. Always nice to have you on the Top Talk Net. And you enjoy your lunch there. Sorry for disturbing you. Happy days. Right, so we're going to go to the new callers now. Thank you ever so much for bearing with us. So, Clark in Cleveland, good afternoon to you, sir. November 8, Papa Zulu Delta. Have you got any questions for either myself or Nick, or any comments you'd like to make? From 2E1HWE. Clark in Cleveland, November 8, Papa Zulu Delta. Are you still with us, please? Over.
nothing heard. So, Chris, the digital analog ham. I'm hoping you're hearing me tonight, Chris. 2E0UKH. Take the microphone, sir. Over to you.
Yeah, I'm hearing you fine. This is Chris, 2E0UKH. I'd just like to say I'm enjoying watching the stream. I'm sitting here watching it on my big telly. I'm relaxing, and it's nice to have a day off. And it's going very well. No real traffic other than to say well done. Everything. And, you know, audio is good, video is good, and keep up the good work.
Yeah, thank you, Chris. Thank you ever so much. What we find normally on Top Talk is at this time of the evening, because we're getting up to 11 o'clock in the evening, we get less UK stations. They seem to drop out because obviously it's a little bit late here. And then obviously the US traffic, North America traffic, Canada all picks up. So, yeah, I think a lot of people, it took a little bit longer than we hoped with the small technical issues we had to get round to everyone. So apologies, I think that's why a few people aren't there, because obviously it took a little bit longer than usual. But yeah, thanks for calling in, Chris, and yeah, it is nice to have you on the net this evening. Just looking at the comments, Richard G4WKW, we have got you down, so I'm going to call you in actually in a sec. I don't think there's anyone else is there. Let me just have a little look. If you're the next one on the list, let me just check. Yeah, you are. So if you're there, because you're in the comments, you're more than welcome to pass a comment if you wish. 2E1HWE, listen out for G4WKW.
This is G4WKW, Richard in St Kevin on the Lizard in Cornwall. Good evening to you, Oscar, and everybody listening. Know very little about Freestar, so it's all new to me. But I did see a comment that there might be a link up with Peanut. I'd actually be keen to see that. I'm using Echo Link at the moment on a T320, but I have Peanut on here as well. It works very well. I've actually taken Zello off, which seems a bit odd, but I've got plenty of other devices I use for Zello. Anyway, back to you, Oscar. 2E1HWE, G4WKW in the group.
Yeah, 2 Echo 1 Hotel Whiskey Echo on the Top Talk Saturday Night Net on Freestar. Well, thanks for calling in. I think you're a first-time caller there, Richard. And the Lizard in Cornwall, what a fantastic QTH name. I like that. I'm not sure if there's any geckos there or monitors or bearded dragons, but yeah, sounds like a wicked place to live. And yes, we did have a Peanut connection coming soon, I think, to XLX248X as a reflector. But let's just see if one of our connection managers is available. We normally bring them in halfway through, just to give everyone an update on what's joined this week, what's new. So let's just do that briefly, and then we'll go for the last part two of the talk with Nick, the Northwest Ham Shack. So I'm going to call in Shane first. He's one of the directors, one of the digital managers of the Freestar Network. He may want to add some comments to help answer that question there. So yeah, Richard, stand by and we'll see if he's there. Shane, M0VUB, are you with us, please? Over.
Yeah, Mike 0, Victor uniform. Okay, Oscar, very good evening to everybody. It's going to be a Peanut XLX248X, which is basically the XLX reflector for Freestar. That is the official one. There's also what we're planning on doing in the coming is to entice people to use the module X or X module in around the world for Project X or module X basically, and
and we're sort of doing it as a test program for everybody. So at the minute we've got 8 reflectors on the go at the minute, which is got Freestar module. We've got 201, XLX 201. We've got XLX 247, 248, 100, XLX 899, and there's also the UK reflector 005X as well. So anybody who wanted to participate in the Module X project is more than welcome, and will happily peer in straight direct into the reflector. If anybody does have peanut on any of those, that would be a bonus as well. But we are going to hopefully have peanut on X on 248 very soon. Just got to contact David and get it sorted. So there you go. And apologies for the dropouts earlier. We was we was on the case with much sweat on the go as well. Back to you, Oscar, from M0VOB.
2 Echo 1 Hotel Whiskey Echo Net Control. Thanks, Shane, for the connections update there. And yeah, if anyone's on All-Star, have a look at the bubble map. When you're managing the connections that we are here, of all modes, you know, all over the place, it is quite a lot of work. There's over 10 servers in the background in the cloud in multiple locations, bridging everything between digital, analog, personal private nodes, and all the other nodes and modes, Echo Link and D-Star Fusion and DMR. So it's a big infrastructure. So sometimes we have little glitches, so thank you for bearing with us there. Excellent stuff. We'll see if Bruce, the other connections manager, just wants to add any final comments. Maybe Bruce, if you're there, you can tell us about any new connections we've got worldwide this week that have joined us, any new interesting stuff you've got there before we move on. 2E1HWE calling out for 2E0FWV.
2E1HWE, 2E0FWV returning. Yeah, no problem at all. Thanks, Oscar. Yeah, well, a big thank you to everybody as ever for bearing with us, as Shane said. A few teething glitches, but we got round it. Shout-outs today. We've got the Isle of Man, the Manx repeaters. They're on now. They're enjoying it and having some fun, so that's always good. We've got a significant number of simplex gateways from the UK joined us this week. I know you were explaining before about those, so they're on board. I know Oscar has got his own simplex gateway that went live yesterday, today even. So, yep, happy birthday to MB7ISX. Check that out if you are in the southeast of England area. And, oh, yep, MB7IAE goes live tomorrow if you're in the northeast up near Hadrian's Wall, for people up in that direction. So, yeah, all is going well, and no particular new international gateways or hubs this week to report, but we're always accepting of anybody that wants to come and talk to us. But yeah, we are getting a lot of simplex gateways and some more repeaters around the UK. So with that, I'll stop my waffle and say thank you to 73 to everybody, and yeah, enjoy the rest of Top Talk from 2E0FWV.
FWE, 2 Echo 1 Hotel Whiskey Echo. Well, thank you, Bruce. Bruce, if anyone didn't hear, is one of the founders and communication connection managers of the Freestar network. So there's all the news for you this week. So I think we're all up to date, which is great. Just looking at the live stream, anyone who's just joining us, this is the Top Talk Net, Saturday Net on the Freestar network. And our guest this week is Nick from the Northwest Ham Shack, KN6DAL, and we're discussing the differences between the UK and the US licensing systems. So we're chewing the fat, so to speak, on all the little bits and bobs to find out the differences. Just before we move on, I've been aware that there is someone patiently waiting who didn't come in the last time. I think there was a cross connection or someone doubled with them. Let's just give them a call and see if they're there and if they want to come in. I've got the call sign Kilo 7 November Delta Oscar, K7 NDO. Are you with us, please? Over.
Okay, final call. K7NDO. Would you like to QRZ, please? Over.
K7NDO here. Yes, those I would appreciate it. The technical difficulties kept going in and out, and then I tried to reconnect to some different hubs, and I couldn't. And so, yeah, I didn't hear your last call out till just now. So thanks for having me, K7NDO here north of Seattle, Washington. A very close neighbor to Nick, and just wanted to say hi. And like I said, I wasn't able to enjoy the full gamut of it because it kept going in and out on me there. So just want to say hello. Hope everybody's doing well. Thanks for having me. K7NDO, back to net control.
Yeah, good afternoon to you there, Indio. Thanks for calling in and thanks for bearing with us. Yeah, I think there was a little bit of latency between me and you there, so apologies. I didn't hear you the first time, but I think we've got you there now. Before we move on, I'll give you an opportunity, actually, because I like to have conversation with our callers. Is there anything you want to ask me about the UK licence, or Nick about anything US related? We're not experts, but if there's a burning question we can put out there, normally there's plenty of people listening who can give you an answer. So any final comments before we move on there, Indio? 2E1HWE, K7NDO.
Sorry about that. I had to wait for my node to ID there. Well, yeah, I don't know if this has been covered or not, so forgive me if it has. Because it's hard to tell. I talked to a lot of hams from the UK in the area there, and you go on QRZ, to look them up and find out about them. And, of course, since the licensing is different, I have a hard time telling what class they are and how it would compare to over here in the States. It's hard for me to decipher, what grade that is over there. So I guess my question would be, how many levels are there? There used to be quite a few here, as you well know, and then they've taken them away, and now there's just 3 classes, So I was just, how many of them are there for you guys? K7NDO.
Kilo 7 November Delta Oscar, 2 Echo 1 Hotel Whiskey Echo. Yeah, okay. So what we were discussing there, Indio, was there's 3 licence classes. You start off with the foundation licence, which is in essence HF, VHF, UHF. It's pretty open on the band plan for an amateur getting in the entry level, and that's 10 watts output. It's quite a low power. Then you go to intermediate. Just to start off, you can always normally tell a foundation station because they normally have a call sign of mic 7 or mic 6, I think, is normally the call sign or the prefix, M7, M6. That would normally distinguish a foundation call sign. And then you go to intermediate, which is what my grade is. So anyone who's got 2 Echo 1 or 2 Echo 0, you're instantly going to know they're intermediate. That's probably the easiest one. And then a full license holder will normally be a G0, Golf 0, Golf 1, or an M for mic, either mic 0 or M5, mic 5. So it can get a bit confusing when it goes to the M call signs, because an M7 is a foundation and M5 is a full license station. So I think QRZ.com normally helps. A lot of people write down what it is there. But the full license holders, they get up, we're going to cover that in a minute, but they get up to 400 watts of output as a maximum power, and intermediate in the middle is 50 watts. So you've got 10 at foundation, 50 at intermediate, and then the power level for full license is 400. And there's loads of other small little things that are different, but apart from, I think, 5 megahertz and 147 megahertz, the foundation and the intermediate more or less have quite a good access to the band plan. I think when you're a full license holder, and again, I'm not going to be 100% correct on this, but I know you get a certain privilege
of having the 5 megahertz band, which I don't think you have that in the US, and you also can apply for 146 to 147 meg, which is just slightly higher than our 2 meter band. Hope that answers the question in basic form there, Indio. Back over to you for one final comment. K7NDO.
Well, more than enough explained it. Thank you so much for taking the time to give me the rundown on there. And I'm understanding and appreciate it. And my goodness, I feel for you. So as the top of the class, you only get a maximum of 400 watts. Hopefully that's enough for you. But anywho, thank you so much. And you guys, where it's pushing midnight, have a great evening. And thanks for doing the net. I know I enjoy listening and being a part of it. So K7 Indio, back to net control.
Yeah, QSL, well, thanks for taking part. That's what it's all about, the interaction tonight. It's not about me and Nick waffling on, talking a load of old rubbish. You know, we want people to come in, join the conversation and be interactive. That's the whole reason we do these nets on Freestar. So, no, thank you. Thank you for coming in and calling in. It's interesting to speak to everyone wherever you are across the world this evening. Good stuff. Well, look, let's crack on with part 2. We're 90 minutes in now, so I don't want it to drag on too much because obviously it's 11 o'clock in the evening here. GMT on UTC 2300. So, Nick, I'm going to ask you now one of the final questions of the evening, and that is about the full license, which I think you call the extra license there in the US. Briefly, just tell me what you have to do for that to get the pass, examination-wise, and when you do pass, what does it give you extra over the technician and the general? What do you get with this extra examination? Is there any extra band plan, any extra power? In essence, what are you getting for this accolade? 2E1HWE KN6DAL.
KN6DAL here. Thanks for that question, Oscar. So to be quite honest, the general is the largest upgrade from technician to general in America. The move from general to extra, which is our full license, the highest license class that you can get, really the only on-paper addition that you get from that license class is a little bit more bandwidth, specifically on the HF bands. Now, there's also an unwritten, level of success that you create within yourself for passing the hardest test. It is much more challenging. There's a much larger question pool. But as a general and an extra, you have the ability to do most of the things ham radio related. That extra class is for me just kind of the icing on the cake, and that was the reason that I took the test. And then I also wanted to have the credentials to be able to assist others in testing through different testing sites. And I'll just mention really quick, you had talked a little bit about the COVID-19 pandemic and how it played a role in the way testing was done in the UK. And the same thing took place over in the United States. We do have some in-person testing sites, but a majority of them have moved now to online platforms with monitors where people, proctors check the security of the tests through video and such. But that's it. It's not a big jump, but it does give you the ability to test anybody, and it's one of those things where you can have the you can just be proud of yourself for taking it to the next level, so to speak. So I am curious to know just a little bit about you alluded to it to some degree, but what else that full license in the UK offers you. As far as is there any other capabilities that maybe you personally want to do that you can't because you don't have that license yet, or what are your plans as far as moving forward?
Yeah, 2 Echo 1 Hotel Whiskey Echo with KN6DAL on the Top Talk Saturday Night Net.
And the thing that I love is I love doing special events, and unfortunately, because I'm an intermediate grade, I'm not allowed, unless I'm supervised by a full license holder, to use a club call sign, nor can I use a special events call sign unless I'm physically supervised. And obviously with COVID, that's not possible. So for the last 12 months nearly, it's been very difficult for intermediate or foundation license holders to do special event station. However, I applied as a one-off to Ofcom and asked them for the New Year's Eve net if under video supervision we could use the call sign GB1MYE, which was the New Year's net, which kind of was the conception of Freestar. I think that's how everyone in North America kind of heard us, because we did this special event. And that kind of kicks it all off. And I was so grateful that I had that privilege, which you normally never would get. But Ofcom, as a one-off, I had it in writing. They authorised me to do it because it was video supervised, you know. And I wasn't coming in via RF. I was on the Echo link, would you believe it? So there wasn't any interference issues and stuff like that. So they obviously were quite lenient. It's not something they always do, but that's something that, you know, I had the privilege of doing, which I normally would not. And that is an incentive to obviously go for the full licence here in the United Kingdom. I think a big thing is also operating abroad. If you've got a foundation or an intermediate licence here, you are very limited where you can go outside of the United Kingdom. I think there are a few countries under the SEPT agreement that will authorise you there, but it's very, very few. You have to really have a full licence to operate for a DXing or any kind of de-expedition, things like that, if you're going outside of the country. The power thing I don't think is a big thing. You've got to remember in the UK we all live on top of each other within reason. We're quite a densely populated island, and I think that's the reason why they keep the power lower. We live in, you know, we haven't all got massive ranches here. We live in a lot of apartments or condos and, you know, semi-detached houses right on top of each other in certain developments. So it's probably more, there's more chance of causing interference to other users than maybe other countries. So probably that's why our power level is slightly lower, I reckon, compared to maybe North America. But we get by. It seems to work okay. I'll just take a pause. One HWE, and do you know what? There's so many other things I could you know pick up on, but there's just really not, unfortunately, Nick, enough time to go through them all. But I think that's kind of the main things, and you can apply for a repeater if you're a full licence holder, where other grades of licence you can't. And I'm sure there's a few other things I've missed, like maritime mobile. I don't think I can do that unless I'm a full licence holder neither. So there is definitely an incentive to get that full examination, and obviously you get the extra 5 megahertz allocation if you want to have a dabble on that. Right, I'm just looking at the comments. Hi Nick WG5EEK, I know that call sign. I think he's one of the people on the Vacaville repeater group, so hello to you. Nice to see you commenting. And if there is any final questions, because we're going to start winding things up soon, everybody, get your comments on the live stream. Nick's doing the live stream tonight. The Northwest Ham Shack is what you want to type in on the YouTube. And any questions you've got, we can get them on there. Right, Nick, I think what we'll do before we close down is we give anyone an opportunity to call in. So, Nick, are you okay to take one final last round of overs? 2E1HWE, KN60AL.
Yeah, thanks, Oscar. Yeah, absolutely. Let's do it. Let's see who's out there. If anybody has any questions, comments, or just wants to come in and say hi, appreciate it. Back to you, 2E1HWE. This is KN60AL.
Cool, good stuff. Excellent. Yeah, it's been a long evening, so thanks for bearing with us. And yeah, I think what we're doing, we're opening it up to everybody now. So forget the list. We're just going to call anyone who wants to come in with any questions, any comments. Again, we're not experts. We're not saying that we are. But if there's anything we can answer, either myself on the UK system to anyone in North America, or vice versa, if there's anyone in the UK or anywhere else that wants to ask Nick a question on the US system, this is a perfect opportunity just to be inquisitive, or if you want to make a comment, if you want to add anything that we've already covered or missed, we might have missed something, or if you just want to say anything else, you know, you can change the topic if you want, but any other comments are welcome if you wish. So I'll call QRZ, please. Are there any stations would like to join us on the Top Talk Net?
W1SBW, Whiskey 1 Sierra Bravo Whiskey.
Approximately 1 hour east of San Francisco, California. Over.
W1SBW, I've got you there. The other station that was near San Francisco, I didn't get your call sign or your name, unfortunately. You doubled with Whiskey 1. The station near San Francisco, go again, please.
Call sign Kilo Mike 6, uniform Quebec, name of Zach.
Yeah, got you there, Zach. No problem at all. Kilo Mike 6, uniform Kilo. So I've got you and W1SBW, thank you. Let's see if there's any UK stations. There's not been many tonight, and I know it's very, very late, so I want to give any UK stations a chance to get in before the midnight hour. Is there any UK stations, please, first? QRZ?
Mike 7 Alpha, Mike. Golf 8 Whiskey Delta. The Wirral near Liverpool.
Golf 7 Romeo, uniform Papa, John in Lincoln.
Okay, good stuff. Nice to see everyone's come out of the woodwork. It's alright. We can stay on a little bit longer. Bruce, open up the connections for another half hour, please, if permitted. We've got a lot more people calling in, which is lovely. I'm happy about that. Right, you have to bear with me, everybody, because I've got bits and bobs of everyone's call sign, so I might ask you to tell me again when I come round to you. Please don't take any offence if I've got it wrong, because it's getting a bit late here, and I think I'm going to have another sip of my beer and wake myself up. Right, so, Whiskey 1, Sierra Bravo Whiskey, good evening, or good afternoon, wherever you are. Give me your name and your QTH one final time, if you could be as kind. And have you got any questions for myself or Nick? Over to you, W1SBW.
This is W1SBW. My name is Scott, Sierra Charlie Oscar Tango Tango. I'm located in the U.S. in the state of Vermont, in the Green State. I just got one quick question. I've been listening. This has been a great net, been great listening to everybody. You guys are doing a great job, Oscar. I just got a quick question. Since the COVID incident, have you guys seen a great increase in people applying for licenses? Back to you.
WE from W1SBW. Well, Scott, that's an absolutely fantastic question. I'm glad you asked me that. The answer is yes. We've had an absolute massive uptake, a surge of increase, and do you know what? That's probably the only positive to get out of the whole COVID-19 situation. It really is. That's the only good thing, I think, about this mess that we all find ourselves in. And yes, I think since it went online, and also because people had a lot more time on their hands as well, there was a big increase. I can't give you the exact percentage, Scott. I'm sure it's online somewhere on the RSGB website. But yes, the answer is we've had a lot of new stations licensed come in. In fact, our connections manager, Bruce, he's one of them, 2E0FWV. He did 2 exams over the summer, and he come into the hobby. We've also got a good net tomorrow, actually. I might as well plug this one away. M7OJA, another operator, young Oscar, no relation to me, but he has the same name. He's only 17 years old, and he passed this year in the summer, and he's got his own net tomorrow at 1300 UTC. 1300 UTC. It's called the M7 net, but it is open to worldwide new licence holders. So if you are a new licence holder, please call in and join him tomorrow on that M7 net on the Freestar network at 1300 UTC. So the answer is we've had a lot of uptake. and it's been a great year, or last year was a great year for the hobby there, Scott. Back to you for a final comment. W1SBW.
W1SBW returning. Okay, great. I know you got a lot of other stuff you want to get through, so short. Thanks for the answer. I know over here in my area, I'm a VE, what they call VE. We help with the testing. During the summertime, it did raise up with the in-person stuff. We did it in a parking lot, and they were able to take their test on their car hood. But now in the wintertime, it's all gone virtual. So, all right, thanks for running in that. Great to listen to you guys. You guys are doing a heck of a job. And I'll say 73 and let's go so you can get the rest of the other people. W1SBW, be clear.
E1HW. Well, thank you, Scott. It's a great question. It was great to answer that. And it's been a great year for the hobby last year, 2020. So there's one small positive out of the whole situation. So thank you for calling in. Just looking at the online comments on the YouTube feed, David Scriven, you haven't got a call sign on there, but he's just pointed out that Spain, Echo Alpha, Spain, does recognise foundation licence holders in the UK to exchange your number. So that's a good thing. It looks like you can go to Spain and have a QSO out there. There we go. Thanks for the information. I like comments like that because there's all little things I'm learning that I don't know. Excellent stuff. Right, let's crack on through because we've got a lot of people want to call in and have a chat and ask some questions or comments. So next is Zach. Kilo Mike 6, uniform Kilo, please.
Good evening on the net. This is Zach, Kilo Mike 6, uniform Quebec, transmitting just about an hour away from San Francisco, California. My question is similar to the gentleman that spoke earlier. My question is your test to become a licensed ham in the UK, is it transitioned to online or is it still in paper form? In the States, it's mainly been physical tests that you'd have to go to in person to take until the pandemic. And now there's been a shift to online testing, and I'm wondering if that's similar for the UK. And thank you for running this program. It's been wonderful listening to everyone. Back to you.
To Echo 1 Hotel Whiskey Echo. Well, good afternoon to you there, Zach, on the west coast near San Francisco. And the way it would normally work is there would normally be a practical element on most of the exams, to my knowledge, definitely the foundation. And unfortunately, because obviously the COVID situation, that couldn't happen. So they scrapped any practical aspect of the exam this year, or last year. I keep saying this year, I keep forgetting what year we're in. But last year, 2020, they scrapped any practical element, and it went purely online only. Apart from maybe in the summer when things opened up slightly, I'm not sure if there was some physical training at clubs, but I think majority was online. And actually, next week's guest is one of the major online in the UK examination people who help us. So we've got Essex Ham Pete Sipple, M0PSX. He's the guest next week, and he's going to cover all of this. So if anyone's interested, wants to know more, he is the expert in the examinations, and he does an online training course, which is massive in the UK. All free of charge as well. Check them out, Essex Ham. It's very local to me, actually. Essex Ham is the name. They do online training for amateurs in the UK, all free of charge with the syllabuses. So if you want to know a little bit more, he'll be on next week, and that would be the best thing to do. Tune in, and he can give you a bit more information. Because as I said, I'm definitely not an expert, but I hopefully can answer most of that. Back to you for one final comment, Zach. 2E1HWE KM6 UUQ.
Yes, wonderful. It's been a joy listening to everyone once again, and I hope you continue. I look forward to hearing everyone next week. Kilo Mike 6, uniform Quebec.
Yeah, 73, thanks for calling in and lovely to have you on board. And just looking at some really nice comments, actually. It's always nice when we do this because we get a lot of people reach out and say thank you, and it's really, it really makes us it makes us feel that we're doing the right thing, and we love this. It's not about us. It's about doing something for the community. We don't get any money out of this. Nothing's monetised, and it's great to get all this positive feedback. Richard, thank you on the comments. G4WKW. He said he didn't know anything about Freestar until today. He's recently moved home and was not very active, and this is the great thing. A lot of people don't have antennas up, or they live in apartments and they've got restrictions, or they're moving house and they're temporary off the air. So this is great. The Freestar system can bring everyone together via digital, analog. It's phenomenal. So it's a privilege to be on here talking to you all this evening. Happy days. Right, who I got next on my list? Let's have a little look. Now, the next station, I didn't get all the call sign. I really do hope you know who you are. I think I got Golf Sierra Zulu, GSW, and that was about it. So hopefully you know who you are. Call in with the call sign, the name, and the location. The station with GSW, or GSZ, please. GSZ. Okay, nothing heard, so I'm not sure what that was. They did double with someone, but never mind. Then I've got Roger, and I've got M7 question mark. I think there was an M7 called Roger. Please give us your name, or know your name, your call sign, and your QTH, and pass any comments or questions. Roger, M7, please.
Okay, good evening. This is Mike 7, Alpha Mike 7. This is Confused of Midsummer Norton. My name's Roger. The QTH is Midsummer Norton. I just stumbled across you. I just got Peanut on my desktop, and I'm on one of the Peanut routes coming from. I'm new to the hobby, so I'd like some information that's suitable for a 5-year-old. Mike 7.
Well, good evening, Roger. Excellent stuff. We have a brand new licensed station calling in there. Your audio was slightly low, Roger. I think you said you're using Peanut maybe on a smart device or a mobile phone, so that might be the reason why. But yeah, I got most of that, and I think you said you're calling from Midsummer Norton. Not sure where that is, but I'm thinking it's somewhere around the Wiltshire, Somerset area, probably somewhere like that, possibly Hampshire. You'll correct me if I'm wrong, I'm sure, but yeah, thanks for calling in. Welcome to Freestar. I'll probably direct you to the internet if that's okay, just because for time reasons we have to crack on, because our connections normally cut off in a couple of minutes, but I think they might be extended to midnight, hopefully. But yeah, go to freestar.network, www.freestar.network. That will give you all the connections, a little bit about what we are. But we're essentially a UK events hub that get connected to the whole world when there's nets every evening, or most evenings on the network. So hopefully that answers the question very briefly. Just give me your call sign one more time, because your audio was very low and I only got part of it. Final comment to you, please, Roger. I think it was M7 Alpha Mike question mark.
Okay, I'm Mike 7, Alpha Mike Tango. Usually okay on this device, but on my Android devices, it's a much better system. I get a better reception. But it may be the fact that you sound like you're using something digital, because your audio is telling me that you're on something digital. But anyway, yeah, Mike 7, Alpha Mike Tango is my call sign. As you said, Midsummer Norton, that's midway between the city of Bath and the city of Wells. So I'm right in the middle of those two cities, just south of Bristol as well. Mike 7, Alpha Mike Tango. I'll hand back to you. As I say, I'll look up your this Freestar network. If you could just tell me what is the easiest, the best way of getting into this, what you're doing right now. Mike 7, Alpha Mike Tango, back to you.
Mike 7, Alpha Mike Tango. Okay, Roger. Well, there's so many different ways. it will take quite a long time to tell you, but in essence, you can get in via analog, you can get in via digital, analog repeaters, simplex gateways, you can get in via XLX reflectors on D-Star and Fusion, Wires X, Peanut app that you're on, Echolink, you can also get on Echolink. The best thing to do is go on that website, freestar.network, and you can knock yourself out. There's so many different ways to connect, it's phenomenal. Zello, if you want to listen only, there is an RX connection on Zello. We're fully connected. And also, just to let everyone know, in the US as well, we've got free DMR as well on board. So we've actually got free servers in the USA on the free DMR network. We want to thank Simon G7RZU at Free DMR for letting us connect. So if anyone's interested, freedmr.uk, we've got a big infrastructure there connected in as well this evening. But please go to the website, Roger, or stay behind after the net finishes. We'll be on after that, so we're more than happy to go a bit more in depth. Excellent stuff. Right, next on the list, Golf 8 Delta Delta Whiskey. Thanks for bearing with us. Good evening to you. Please give me your name, location, and any questions or comments. G8DDW.
Good evening, Oscar. Golf 8 Whiskey Delta. Got it the wrong way around there. Never mind. Don't worry. Thanks very much. Appreciated. I was on Chris's one last night, and it's very nice to have these nets in these times of us all being in lock. Won't say much more. Just thank you very much, and best 73s to everyone around the world listening.
Yeah, okay, good stuff. Thanks for calling in. And the Uniform Juliet Alpha station, acknowledge, please stand by. The JUA station, please stand by. Excellent, thanks very much. Next, I've got John, and I've got G7UP. That's all I've got, John. Give me all your details there. With any final comments or questions for us this evening on the Talk Net. G7UP question mark from 2 Echo 1 Hotel Whiskey Echo.
Okay, evening, Oscar. Call is Golf 7 Romeo Uniform Papa. Romeo Uniform Papa. Location's Lincoln. Just want to say thanks a lot. Absolutely excellent net. Well done, Shane and Bruce in the background, and a top guest tonight with the Northwest Sam Shack. And we'll catch with you all a little bit later from me over in Lincoln and MB7ILO, G7IUP.
2E1 HWEG7 RUP. Okay, John, thanks for that. Calling from the city of Lincoln. Lovely city there you've got. Do like Lincoln with that cathedral. Beautiful place. And thanks for the kind comments and calling in and participating this evening. So we try and do everything how people want it. But, you know, if we get it wrong or if you want to see something new or fresh, please email me on my QRZ.com page. We're open to suggestions. If anyone wants to see something different or cover a certain topic or wants to be a guest, you want to be a guest, please let me know. We want interesting people. You know, we want good content. So please get in contact. And also, if you want to connect on a permanent or semi-permanent basis to Freestar, please reach out and we can have a chat with you and work out something. You know, freedom to connect. That's our tagline and motto. So we're pretty easygoing guys here on the network. And you know, once the net stops in a minute and you know, the connections start to turn off, please, you're more than welcome to stay on for general traffic after the net. Don't be shy. We normally get a few people coming in and talk to some friends all over the world, so it's all good. Excellent stuff. Just having a look at the comments. Let me just take a pause. Yeah, excellent. So Gordon Hunter on the YouTube feed says, great net tonight. He was on the digital analog ham net, which is a good net. So anyone who's new to Freestar, the weekends, this is the place to be. We start on a Friday with the digital analog ham net with Chris, 2E0UKH at 9 o'clock or 2100 UTC on a Friday. Then you've got myself with the Toptalk Net, 23:30 UTC on a Saturday evening. And then tomorrow we've got the M7 Net for any newly licensed stations across the world to call in, and that's with M7OJA Oscar tomorrow afternoon, 1300 UTC. Excellent stuff, thank you very much. Now, there was a station call in, I think I got some of the call sign, unless they were just calling through for someone else. Would you like to QRZ? I think it was Uniform Juliet Alpha, please.
Alright, 1 Hotel Zero Whiskey, this is 3JA, Charlie 3, Quebec Sierra Delta, mobile in Cleveland, Ohio.
Okay, I think it was a mobile station in Philadelphia, possibly, but I did struggle to get you there. Yeah, okay, cool. We try and pick you out there. There's a little bit of white noise. I'll turn my volume up and I'll try and listen a bit better next time. Would you like to ask a question or pass a comment there, please? Over.
Yeah, it's Kilo Charlie 3 Quebec Sierra Alpha, and I'm mobile in Cleveland, Ohio. Charlie Lima Echo Victor Echo Lima Alpha November Delta, Ohio Oscar Hotel India Oscar, and yeah, I'm pretty far from here. I'd like to ask you how's the weather?
Echo 1 Hotel Whiskey Echo. Right, I've got the call sign. Kilo Charlie 3 Uniform Juliet Alpha, possibly. Your mobile, Cleveland, Ohio. And I think you asked me what the weather's like. Maybe I misheard you, but I'll tell you anyway. It's quite dark outside, so it might be difficult for me to answer that question. But today on the Thames Estuary, where I'm located, which is 35 miles east of London, it's been an absolutely fabulous blue sky winter day. Sunshine everywhere. 15 degrees Celsius. Not sure what the conversion is in Fahrenheit, but for February that's a lovely temperature here. Here on the Essex Riviera, as we say. So I can't say everywhere else in the UK had it so good. I think the West Coast was all raining through Cornwall up to North Scotland, Cumbria, Isle of Man, and hello to the Isle of Man. They're joining us for the first time tonight on Freestar. The Manx Repeater Group, I think it is possibly. Hello to you on the Island of Man. Love a bit of motorbike. Anyone doesn't know the Isle of Man, it's where the annual TT race is over there. And yeah, they've not had it so good on the west coast of the UK. It's been very miserable, I hear, today. But on the east coast, it's been absolutely fantastic. So hopefully that answers your question. Thanks for calling in, and we'll see if there's anyone else for any final comments. Please call in any final callers. We're going to start wrapping things up. Please QRZ with your call sign and your name. Any final stations, please, QRZ.
Oscar Hotel 2, Charlie Bravo Echo, Keijo from Finland.
Yes, good evening. Oscar November 2, Charlie Tango Echo. We called you earlier, my friend. We called you earlier, but I think we lost the connection. So thank you for joining us. Please, have you got a question or a comment for us? 2E1HWE.
My call sign is Oscar Hotel 2, Charlie Bravo Echo. Actually, I had a question before, but that was already answered. My question was if there's any differences, what frequencies you can operate with the different licenses. But I can tell you that we have only 2 licenses, like basic and general, and all the license holders can operate the same frequencies.
Excellent stuff. Right, correction on the call. Oscar Hotel 2, Charlie Bravo Echo. Fantastic stuff. Well, look, I've got a few questions for you, actually, if that's okay. What's the power output there with the Finland license. Can you tell me the power output for both, please? Over.
The basic license, it's 120 watts, and general license is 1500 as a transmission power watts.
2 Echo 1 Hotel Whiskey Echo returning. Oh wow, we have got low power here, haven't we, in the UK? Can everyone stop making me very, very envious and jealous? Because I wonder why I struggle on HF on my 50 watts sometimes. But oh well, that's really, really interesting. Really, really interesting. And do you know what? Even though we're discussing the UK and the US licensing structure this evening, if you're listening around the world, please call in. We want interesting callers from exotic locations, you know. It's not just transatlantic chit-chat here. We do like to hear other people connected. I know we normally have Germany connected, Israel connect occasionally, which is nice to know. So if anyone else is abroad, actually, I'm gonna call actually any non-North American and non-UK stations. Anyone outside of North America and outside of the United Kingdom. This is the chance to call in, actually, and have your say if you want to. Be interesting to hear any other worldwide licensing situation. So, 2 Echo 1, Hotel Whiskey Echo, calling QRZ for any non-North American, non-UK stations, please. Okay, nothing heard. No, sometimes we get people in Australia and New Zealand are just waking up over that side of the world down under, and they normally call in, but it might be a bit too early for them. And most of Europe's probably going to sleep now, because it's getting towards the midnight hour here. Excellent stuff. So I'll take any final calls now. Any final questions for either me or Nick, the guest, on tonight's Top Talk, KN6DAL, over there in Washington State, West Coast, US of A. We're talking about licensing, UK and US differences. Any final questions or comments before we start winding things up this evening? We're taking anybody from anywhere in the world now. 2E1HWE standing by for any final call.
Seven India Bravo uniform. My name is Striker, Sierra Tango Romeo Yankee Kilo Echo Romeo, and I am in Olympia, Washington, about 2 hours south of Nick.
Yeah, got you there, Striker, in Washington State. Thank you very much. Is there anyone else who'd like to join us? Final chance, please. Final chance, final call. For any other stations, QRZ. The good ship, Freestar there, Striker. Fantastic name. Hopefully I've pronounced that correctly. I didn't get the first part of your call sign. I know sometimes it clips it. I normally leave about a second before once I've keyed up, before I say my call sign, because I know sometimes the system with a latency can clip it. So give me your call sign again, and that'd be fantastic if you could do that. And have you got a question at all for me or Nick, or any comments before we close the Top Talk Net? Last caller there, Striker in Washington State.
Yes, the call here is Kilo 7, India Bravo uniform, Kilo 7. And I didn't have any questions. I just wanted to check into the net and say thanks to Nick for doing the Northwest Ham Shack. I really enjoy the channel.
Echo 1 Hotel Whiskey Echo. Well, I'm going to hand it over to Nick, actually, for anything he wants to add before we close down the net this evening. So you're more than welcome to go back to him on the next one. So Nick, over to you for any final comments, anything you'd like to discuss before we call it a night. 2E1HWE KN6DAL.
Yeah, thanks, Oscar. This is Nick, KN6DAL. I would like to mention one short thing that I forgot. We had talked a couple days ago about why we call our net an anti-net. We call it an anti-net, but I believe you guys would refer that same word as anti. But however you want to say it, the whole thing kind of started out as a bit of a joke. It's just a group of people that started out who enjoyed doing 2-meter simplex hiking activities. We would all join together on a repeater once a week and talk about it. And because we had nets all around us, as sort of a funny joke, we called it an anti-net or anti-net, and it took off from there. So if you are listening today and you're interested in joining in, that is also streamed on Northwest Ham Shack, and it's also being broadcast about Freestar as well. So I just want to say thank you, Oscar, and I appreciate you having me on tonight. And it has been a ton of fun. Lots of interesting people coming in, and from close and far away. And we have Stryker here, K7IBU, I believe it was. I'm curious how you heard about my channel, and I'm happy that you came on. So I'll pass it over to you. This is KN6DAL to K7IBU.
Kilo 7 Indy Bravo Uniform, Stryker here. So this actually started a long while ago. It was when you were in the area, and I actually heard you chatting with Chris on the Capital Peak repeater. I think you were on your way out to the Packwood area. From there, I did a little bit of QRZ and found the 2-meter crew, found the anti-nets, watched those, and shortly thereafter you moved up to Everett, and I've just been following all of you guys ever since.
Oh, awesome. Well, I appreciate you coming on, and thanks for taking the time to jump onto Freestar and say hi. It's a great group of people, and they're really doing quite a bit to make things work out. So with that, I'll say 7-3, and I will pass it back to Oscar. This is KN6DAL. Back to you, Oscar.
Echo 1 Hotel Whiskey Echo. No, good stuff. It's lovely to have all new people joining us on the network. So I just want to thank all the worldwide connections and hubs for letting us overrun this evening. Apologies, there was a small technical difficulty that delayed things slightly, so we have overrun. But the connections will be live for another 10 or so minutes before midnight here, 00 UTC. And then it will go to a slightly smaller scale. But you're more than welcome to stay. If you want to put traffic through here, you're more than welcome. Don't be shy. It's open to anyone across the world 24/7 as an infrastructure. And there we go. I'll just take a pause. Net on the Freestar network, worldwide, everywhere. Time is 23:48 UTC. Right, so I'm going to say, is there anyone before I close the net that I've missed? Because I've got a feeling I might have missed someone. So if I did, apologies, this is your chance to have a final comment or a final question before we say goodnight to you. If there's anyone I've missed or any final calls, please come in now with your call sign. 2 Echo 1 Hotel Whiskey Echo listening. Okay, I think I got Kilo Golf Sierra Zulu, which is a bit of an odd one. I think I must have missed something out there, maybe. Please take the microphone from 2E1HWE. Golf Sierra Zulu. Unfortunately, it's a negative copy. If you could just, when you key up, give it 1 or 2 second gap, then say your call sign, because with the latency sometimes we don't get the first part, which is very difficult. So apologies, it's not you, it's me and the connection. Give me your call sign again phonetically, maybe twice if you could be as kind, and then pass your comment or question, please. Over.
40 Golf Sierra Zulu.
Golf Sierra Zulu.
Affirmative. 2 Echo 0 Golf Sierra Zulu. Excellent, we've got you there. What's your name and location? And pass your comment, please. Over.
My name's Graham, northeast of England, County Durham, and first time on tonight, obviously. Wonderful net you've got there. Over.
Yeah, good evening to you, Graham, in County Durham, which, if anyone's not familiar, outside of the UK, is northeast England, not too far from Newcastle upon Tyne and Sunderland, if you want a bit of geography there. I'm assuming, Graham, you may be coming through one of the repeaters. Just let me know briefly how you found out about Freestar and the net this evening. We're just interested to know your connection and working conditions there, Graham. And if you'd like to ask a question as well to Nick in the US, you're more than welcome to. 2E1HWE, 2E0GSZ.
0 Golf Sierra Zulu, return there, Oscar. No, I've just scanned the channels on the local repeater, GB3 Charlie Delta, and heard you on, and I've been listening for a while, and I've been trying to get in, and this is my only chance, so there you go, back to you.
Yeah, QSL, Graham, well, you know what they say, we've saved the best to last, so thanks for persevering with us this evening. I know it's not been easy, but you got in there right at the last moment, so welcome aboard. We're here every Saturday at 2100 or 21:30 UTC for the Toptalk Net, and actually tomorrow you'll be quite interested. Young Oscar Jr., as I call him, M70JA, who's not too far away from you, you may know him, is doing the M7 net tomorrow. You don't have to be newly licensed to call in, but if you want to connect tomorrow on that repeater at 1300, it's a good net to get involved in. Final comment and then we're closed down. 2E1HWE, 2E0GSZ.
Oscar, I don't know the journey, Oscar, what you're on about. I think he comes from Merton area in County Durham, which is not too far away from me, approximately 10 miles. And he's well into the radio stuff there, doing well. And I wish you well on the net, and I'll definitely call in again. Back to you.
Yeah, excellent stuff there. Excellent stuff, Graham. Lovely to have you as a first-time caller on the Freestar Network. Please join us again for another net. You're more than welcome to join in. 73 from me. Just before we close the net then, I'm just going to quickly look at the final comments, just to read some out. Harry Paul, Mike 7 WAB in Scotland, he's just put, we've worked 10,000 plus miles to Norfolk Island off the east coast of Australia with only 8 watts on a wire antenna. It was grey line assisted. That's the trick to follow the propagation. Good advice there, Paul. You don't always need big power if you've got the right conditions. You're right. Also, G8WWD Gordon, don't get obsessed by the power. 1S point is about 6 dB. Therefore, to get an S3 with your 50 watts to S6, you need 3.2 kilowatt. Yeah, I suppose if you look at it like that, Graham, it makes sense, doesn't it? 50 watts gets you an S3, and if you wanted to double that to S6, you'd need 3.2 kilowatts, apparently. So I think you've done the maths on that one. It's all a little bit above me, but interesting statistics. This is what I like. I like this kind of statistical stuff. If you've got more of this kind of comments, let us know and call in. Anyway, I'll just quickly take a pause. 2 Echo 1 Hotel Whiskey Echo. We're going to say good night now to everyone. Thanks for joining us in. I want to say a big thank you to our guest this evening on Top Talk, which was Nick, Kilo November 6 Delta Alpha Lima, of the Northwest Hang Shack. He's provided the live stream this evening. I think we've got 28 people watching at the moment, so hello to you all there, and thank you for participating. Nick, final word goes to you before I close the net this evening. 2E1HWE. To the guest, Nick, KN6DAL.
Hey, thanks, Oscar. This is Nick, KN6DAL. Really appreciate you having me on tonight. This has been an awesome event, and it's really fun to see all the connectivity that's going on. I think that everybody involved in Freestar has done just an absolutely fantastic job of creating a platform, especially for new ham radio operators, and that is kind of where my heart's at, is always creating the opportunity for new operators to get on and enjoy the airwaves with everybody. So thank you so much for having me on, and thank you to Freestar for all the hard work you do in the background. It's just been great. So back to you, 2E1HWE. This is KN6DAL. I will be clear. 7-3.
Echo 1 Hotel Whiskey Echo. Well, thank you, Nick, for joining us. It's been an absolute pleasure, and it really, really has this evening to learn the differences and the similarities between the two licenses. It looks like we're getting a lot lower power than you guys and girls, but there we go. There we go. You got to have. It's more fun when you got less power, isn't it? And less expense as well. So I'm looking at the positives. I really, really am there. But it's been a fascinating evening. Great callers as well. Thanks very much for the comments. Everyone for joining us. The network is still open, so if anyone wants to call in and have a QSR after we're finished, or if anyone's got any questions, I'll stay around on the side for another 10 minutes or so if anyone needs any assistance. So without further ado, we'll close this net officially. Thanks to all the worldwide connections, Vacaville Repeater Group, Canada Hub, NZ Hub in New Zealand, and obviously everyone else there connected around the world. Too many to mention, but thank you very much for the overrun this evening. 73 through England, and we'll catch you next Saturday at 21:30 for another instalment of Top Talk, and we have another special guest, Pete Sipple from Essex Ham, who will be talking about the UK examination process and how it is surged in the lockdown situation. So it'll be a good net again next week. 73 from us, and we now close the net officially at 23:57. This is 2 Echo 1 Hotel Whiskey Echo, now saying 73s to everyone on the Freestar network. Good night.
All right, and to all of you on YouTube, thanks for hanging out with us tonight. Appreciate your support, and I'll say 7-3, and hopefully we can catch all of you on the Wednesday night 2 Meter Crew Anti-Net. Hope to see you all there. 7-3.